Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel again. Just like what I previously planned, today we'll discuss about the causes of hyperinflation. As we all know, according to history, there's a really most famous one, hyperinflation, which is the One Republic hyperinflation, which is later being solved by replace the new currency Mankiw mark with the old currency Reichsmark. And if you consider those hyperinflation, which is really serious, that happens in recent decades, then probably you can consider the around Zimbabwe hyperinflation, which made its currency depreciates very quickly. So now we would like to discuss the causes of hyperinflation. So what caused hyperinflation, and try to just judge and identify for the recent few cases, real cases, which cause today belongs to. So the first, which is the most obvious answer, is that hyperinflation are due to excessive growth in the supply of money. So why? And because, for example, in closed economic system, for each person, if they have $10, then they want to buy a water, then probably the water can be 1 unit of money, we will say. Then if all of them have 100 units of money, then probably the water will be 10 unit money. So you see a really rapid increase. So it means that if the supply of money, it increase in a certain time, it means that because of the excessive supply of money supply, it just the currency depreciates and cause the hyperinflation. So when central bank prints more money, the price level rises. When it prints money rapidly enough, the result is hyperinflation. To solve hyperinflation, the central bank must reduce the rate of money growth. Of course, there are several ways. For example, they stop printing money, and also they can, change currency, which is obviously, in my own perspective, the most efficient one. However, this answer is incomplete, because what leaves open the question of why central bank in hyperinflation economies choose to print so much money. Because central bank represent a government. It is a really easy theory that even normal people like us can understand. So why central bank still choose to print money? So to address this deeper question, we must turn our attention from monetary to fiscal policy. So what is monetary policy? It is about money supply. It is about interest rate. It is about exchange rate. But fiscal policy is about government spending and also tax rate. So most hyperinflation begin when the government has inadequate tax revenue to pay for its spending, which is they have a huge budget deficit. So although the government might prefer to finance this budget deficit by issuing national debt, but it may find itself unable to borrow. For example, people in that country are not that confident about their nation's economy, so they prefer not to believe the government, because if tend to when the debt is finally need to be repaid, the government may just does not exist in the nation, so they do not think the debt is a wise choice, so they do not use that. But so in order to reduce this budget deficit, the lenders view the government as a bad credit risk. So to cover the deficit, the government turns to the only mechanism at its disposal, which is the printing press. They can only keep printing and printing. So the result is rapid money growth and serious hyperinflation. So once hyperinflation is underway, the fiscal problems become even more severe because of the delay in collecting tax payments, which is being previously mentioned for the U.S. government. They do comprehend this economic problem, so they choose to collect tax in a period of 3 months. However, even in a period of 3 months during hyperinflation, the real purchasing power of money is kept decreasing and decreasing. The delay in collecting tax payments, real tax revenue falls as inflation rises. Thus, the government's need to rely on is self-reinforcing. Rapid money creation leads to hyperinflation, which leads to a larger budget deficit, so leads to even more rapid money creation. So it is just a closed system. So if there is a budget deficit, they need more money. They print more money. But they print more money, so or the price level increases. The price level increases because of the gap between like collecting tax, the real tax income still decrease. So the country still find the government has a budget deficit, so they keep printing money. So the ends of hyperinflation almost always coincide with fiscal reforms. Once the magnitude of problems becomes apparent, the government musters they will reduce government spending and increase its taxes. These fiscal reforms reduce the need for synagogue drudge, which allows a reduction in money rolls. Hence, even if inflation is always and everywhere a monetary phenomenon, the end of hyperinflation is often a fiscal phenomenon as well. And this is the end of the video. So in next episode, we will discuss about some two case studies and try to give the reason like why hyperinflation is appear in those nations and how they solve it. And thank you all for your support. Have a nice day.